What is up, guys? I just wanted to talk about Jinx, the newest champion. Some of you have already seen that. Some of you have probably seen her. Just how much fun she is. She's been really popular. A lot of people are really liking her. I'm having just a blast, but there's nobody really has a solid guide for her yet, and so I wanted to talk about my build, runes, masteries, all that good stuff, and just lay it out what I got. For those you've probably already seen her, she's very much an ADC. Does great in bot lane. She's actually pretty solid in mid if you get randomly thrown up there. I've had to deal with some derpy people in solo queue and randomly just gone over to mid and actually done halfway decent. Um, Really high attack damage, great burst. Her kit is full of fantastic harass. Between Zap and Flame Chompers, she can easily harass an opponent out of lane and make it much more difficult for them to farm. And her ultimate, the super mega death rocket, is just insanely powerful. I've done, enemy goes to retreat. I pop off the rocket and land a kill, 30-40% of their health easily. It's crazy. Her two biggest weaknesses are her low health for starters, and she's a lot slower than a lot of the other champions available. So she's a real glass cannon. She can she can just dish out that damage, but she can't sustain very well in lane. So let's get over to my runes over here, and I can show you what I've got. This is actually my general rune page. I've got about 4 marks of armor pen, 4 marks of attack damage, running armor seals, magic resist glyphs, and then lifesteal quintessences. This is actually my generic ADC rune page. I use this for Yi, Ashe, Jinx, pretty much everyone that uses ADC. I tend to build more defensive runes primarily. That's just the way I build my champs. Some would probably say that I could probably do better if I were running full armor pen over here, which I am in agreement. I'm just low on the IP, so I need to, I'm still grinding my way through. I mean, I'm only level 24, so I've still got 6 more runes that I'll be opening up as well. It's coming along. It really is. With Masteries, I have a generic page for most ADCs, but I have a special one for Jinx. Summoner's Wrath for the Ignite, the extra attack damage and ability power when it's on cooldown. It's fantastic because, if you're using Ignite on the regular, you're going to have a lot of cooldown. That's an extra 5 attack damage. What's not to love? The Fury for attack speed, Deadliness for attack damage, Destruction is probably, I think it's an underrated mastery for Jinx. Being able to tower dive, especially at like level 7 or 8. I've pulled off some pretty early tower dives with Jinx. Just the pow pow, the minigun is just, it's that good. With the attack speed bonus, and when I'm sitting at around 120, 150 AD at level 8 or 9, plus 5%, even with the armor that the towers have, you can chew through a turret. You can chew through a tower pretty easily. Beyond that, it's the pretty standard stuff. The weapon expertise for the armor pen, havoc, lethality. I like frenzy with Jinx because when you'll see why when I get to the item sets. This one works so very well. Brute Force for attack damage, Sunder for armor pen, and Executioner. This is the gravy right here. This is what will win you games. I cannot speak highly enough about getting this mastery for Jinx, because with the burst damage plus Executioner, she will just chew through supports like nothing else. I'll show you. If we look at my match history real quick, and I'm looking at 13 and 20 for a bad game, 20 and 7, another bad game, 4 and 17, 7-12, 4-11. A lot of these were these custom games here were me figuring out what the hell I'm trying to do. I experimented with it, experimenting with my item builds, but I am liking where Jinx is at. Now getting to the item builds, your starting items. I go longsword and potions after watching the World Championships and realizing just how derpy some of the people are in solo queue. Even at the level 20 range, there's just people that just, yeah. So I put Sight Ward in my starting items, depending on how well my team works together or lack thereof. I'll just buy wards. That extra vision, especially with Jinx, where she's got that low mobility. Gank from the river will just wreck you. You have to be ready for it. So having wards up helps so very much, so very much. Beyond that, the standard kit, Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, and Infinity Edge, and Static Shiv, and Berserker Greaves are the main ones. Depending on what I'm building and what my opponent's team is like, I'll go for a Frozen Mallet or a second Bloodthirster. Either one of those will work rather well, actually, that you can switch them off. But this Infinity Edge with the extra critical strike chance and Static Shiv giving bonus crit, between those, you get the Fury Mastery that I mentioned, this Frenzy. You'll get that quite a bit. I mean, you're looking at 45% crit rate just based from the items. That's not including whatever bonuses you get from anything else. But no, extra attack damage. By the time I'm done, I'm usually sitting around 24% lifesteal on about 350 attack damage, which is great. That's what helps keep the sustain, especially with Pow Pow when you're attacking, when you get the attack boost of 100%. So you just chew through enemies and get tons of extra health and get extra health out of the ordeal. 75, 90 health regained per hit. It gets disgusting really quickly. Boot enchants depend on what I'm going with, depending on what my opponents are looking at. Berserker Greaves, I'll get either Führer for the extra move speed, Home Guard, or Captain. And really, I spend most of the time I'll go for the Führer or the Home Guard. I like Führer with Jinx because that extra attack damage, because the extra move speed, especially when you're trying to escape an enemy, just turn around, pop off a shot with Pow Pow, and run and keep running. It helps. It can save your life. I like it a lot. So anyways, now I got that out of the way, I'm going to queue up a match here and show you what it's like.